Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Leland at Keller Realty and Jordan Bennett and Associates. Thank you so much for watching my videos. In this video, we're going to look at the local Orange County housing market update. We're going to talk about the luxury market, the current buyer demand and inventory. And then last but not least, we're going to review a brief mini national real estate market update here for the beautiful USA. But before we do that, this verse of the month for September is out of Isaiah 55 verses 8-9, and it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." You know, sometimes I think often through life, things might not make sense, right? And also I think when we set our own goals and we want to accomplish them in a certain time frame, and yet those plans get completely changed, we have to remind ourselves that God sees the overall picture and we only see a tiny little glimpse of it. So ultimately we have to just trust Him that, hey, His ways are higher than my ways, and His ways are way better than my ways and way better than my perfect plans. I have to just trust God with the future and with what He's got going on. So anyways, hopefully that was encouraging. Let's jump into the content. Okay, so here's a chart that shows you the luxury market in Orange County. For homes priced above $1.25 million, the luxury market in Orange County has hit a record high of 561 closed home sales in the month of August. This is the highest that we've seen it in several years. Have a look at that chart. I'll leave that up for a minute. Last month, closed sales were actually up 12% in all of Orange County compared to last year. Here's a slide that shows year-over-year changes in sold homes and year-over-year demand. Okay, so active inventory in all of Orange County. Right now we have 4,252 homes for sale in all of the county. Right, that's actually, we had 65% more homes for sale last year, which is absolutely insane. So right now we have about 4,200 homes for sale here in September. And last year, this time of year, we had almost 7,000 homes for sale, right? So a lot of our buyer clients are like, hey, you know what, where's all the inventory at? And the reality is that just this year, the market is only giving out about 4,200 homes rather than the 7,000 that we saw last year. So just something to be aware of. And here's that inventory chart that I will leave on the screen for a second. So here's the demand chart, and as you can see that when COVID happened, demand has drastically decreased, and then right around May, that's when we just saw it completely shoot through the roof. And as you can tell right now, it is still very, very strong here in the month of September, heading into, as we head into the end of the year here. So here's an expected market time chart that I like to show. This just shows you all the inventory in all of Orange County, what that share of housing inventory is, and then what the share of current demand is. As you can tell, homes priced under $2 million are selling quickly, and all the other price points you can see right there is a breakdown of what's happening. Okay, so here's my mini intermission right before we get into the mini housing market update. You know what I love to watch? I love to watch dogs. Why? Because have you ever been walking, or have you ever seen somebody walking their dog, or seen like a dog sticking out of the back of somebody's window and they're just panting, smiling, enjoying life, taking in the sun, just kind of strutting their stuff, enjoying life? I think sometimes we have to take a lesson from that, right? Because very often the news can get crazy and a lot of people can be fighting on social media and different things. And I have to just remind myself to take a lesson from that dog, because I just need to sometimes just enjoy the present moment and enjoy what's in front of me, right? So we need to take a lesson from dogs and do what they do and enjoy life more so, rather than being stressed out about everything happening around us. So just wanted to encourage you with that. Here's a cool dog photo. Let's jump on to the next topic. Okay, so nationally, here's a slide from Zillow. This shows you that the country was up 16.5% in pending home sales across the board. That's exciting, right? Also, home buyer traffic is up 60.7% year over year across the nation, according to ShowingTime. Here's a slide that shows you that. And then here's a quote from the chief economist at Realtor.com, and she says that total inventory was down 38%. Let me read that again. Total inventory was down 38%, right? That's across the country. And buyers continue to be motivated by low mortgage rates and a strong desire for the certainty of ownership in an uncertain world. They're quickly putting offers on the homes that come up for sale, driving the overall number of homes for sale lower, right? And that's exactly what we're seeing here in Orange County that we just talked about. Obviously, there's a lot of buyers in the market. Homes are selling fast. There's not enough inventory coming for sale, as much buyers as we have that want to gobble up those properties. Gobble, gobble, yes, that's my indication that Thanksgiving is around the corner. Besides that, in all seriousness, that is quite exciting, and that's really good news for the economy that people are out there buying things to help stimulate the economy and keep things going, right? Here's the projections of future home prices. Some of these organizations are projecting values over the next 12 months, and some of these are projections on how much home prices have come up by the end of the year from last year. So as you can see, Fannie Mae, National Association of Realtors, and then the Mortgage Business Association are projecting home values have come up 4% across the states, and other organizations are projecting values to increase another 2 to 3% over the next 12 months. So I'll leave that right there for you to check out. Here are the number of mortgages in active forbearance, and they're actually leveling off right under 3.93 million, as you can see in this chart. Back in 5/29, we had 4.76 million active mortgages or mortgages in active forbearance, and then you can see right now it's been averaging about right under 4 million here during last month. Here's a quote from the senior mortgage reporter at Bankrate.com. He says the COVID-19 pandemic will lead to a rise in mortgage defaults and foreclosures, but as the housing market muscles through this economic downturn, it looks as if foreclosures will form a trickle rather than a flood, housing experts say. Here's a chart that shows you the percentage of distressed property sales across the nation. You can see that actually we're less than 1% of distressed property sales across the nation. I think often we have home buyers. Every now and then home buyers will come to us or investors and say, hey, you know what, I'm only looking for a short sale, or I'm only looking for a probate sale or something along those lines. And the reality is that there, I believe right now, there are less than 100 distressed properties for sale in all of Orange County, which is completely insane. So imagine that, right? You have a home that's a short sale or what have you, but you have all these other investors, because money's really cheap right now. You have all these other investors, you have all these other normal home buyers hovering around that to get a good deal because it's a short sale or a distressed property, right? Yet because there's so much activity, because there's so many people fighting over each other to get that short sale, it's kind of hard. It really is honestly hard to get that at a good price when you have several other people competing against yourself to really get that house, right? So that's the reality, and of course we're seeing that also across the nation. Not only here locally, but across the nation, we have less than 1% in distressed property sales. Okay, here's a chart that shows you across the nation the average days on market. So again, this is once a house goes for sale, and then once that house goes under contract, that is called the average days on market. You can see that in a lot of areas, there's just not enough homes available for the amount of buyers that want them. This is why you can see it looks a lot like a seller's market across most of the country. And this year, home buyers can buy 10% more house while keeping their mortgage payment the same compared to last year because of interest rates, of course. And then last but not least, here is a quote from one of the other chief economists at the National Association of Realtors. His name is Lawrence Yun, and he says, Yun forecasts existing home sales to ramp up to 5.8 million in the second half. That expected rebound would bring the full year level of existing home sales to 5.4 million, a 1.1% gain compared to 2019. Home sales will ramp up again next year, Yoon said, increasing between 8 to 12%. Wow, check that out. So basically, Lawrence Yoon is forecasting that by the end of this year, we will actually be up 1.1% of home sales compared to last year. So in a time where people think a lot of buyers are on the sidelines or sellers, actually we have a lot of people that are transacting in the marketplace, which is good for the economy. And it looks like, lo and behold, instead of selling less homes than last year across the states, we're actually going to sell 1.1% more homes of people buying and transacting property. And also he's indicating that next year there's going to be an 8 to 12% increase, which is absolutely insane. Gary Keller, the owner of Keller Williams, said that actually expect for people to transact less this year. However, expect them to actually transact about 3 times more next year, which kind of makes sense, right? Of course, we have a lot of people that have to buy, that want to get into the market, a lot of sellers that need to sell, that need to move, etc., etc. And then you have a lot of people, obviously, that are waiting to get past the election, waiting to get into the new year, waiting to get past COVID, to then really accomplish their real estate goals and really get it done. So you have a lot of this pent-up demand that I believe we're seeing in several different sectors of the marketplace, right? Not just home sales, but other different industries where we're all obviously waiting to get through this and wanting this to be done with COVID. And yet it's pretty crazy that we're going to actually sell across the nation 1.1% more homes than last year, and then Lawrence is thinking that there's going to be 8 to 12% more homes being sold next year compared to this year, which is pretty wild. So anyways, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching this. If you want an in-depth PDF report of the Orange County housing market, just shoot me a direct message on here on social media and I will send that back over to you. And then if you or anyone you know that needs help to accomplish their real estate goals, if they're looking to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate, obviously reach out to me and we would love to help them make that happen. So anyways, God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend or whenever you're seeing this, and we'll talk soon.